So it seems Bradley Beal isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The Wizards reportedly offering him an extension. How do you feel about that? Would you rather deal him away? That's tonight on Sports Talk.
From WJLA 24/7 News, this is Toyota Sports Talk.
And Brad had a monster year. He grew in a lot of areas that, you know, over these last 2 or 3 years that a lot of people did not think that he would grow as quick. I mean, 4 years ago, there was a lot of things written and said about him that before I got here, that when I got here, I was shocked that I was reading and hearing all those things. That guy is a winner. He is as tough as they come.
That was Wizards head coach Scott Brooks' exit interview talking about Bradley Beal. So the countdown to the NBA draft almost here. The Wizards have that 9th overall pick. Nobody knows which way they'll go. People were wondering if the Wizards were going to trade Bradley Beal for picks or anything, seeing that he's their most valuable asset. Turns out that might not be the case. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the Wizards plan to offer Bradley Beal a 3-year extension worth $111 million. So here's our question of the night. The Wizards end up offering Brad that extension. Are you okay with that? Or did you want to deal him away for some picks or for anything else? Also, who do you think will have the biggest bust potential in the NBA draft? Call us 703-387-1020. Back at the desk tonight, DMV sports journalist Sterling Brown. And we'll get to this later, but you see what kind of sweater he has on. Argyle, take note, and think about that throughout the show. That's what I'm going to tell you, okay?
What's my last name?
Brown.
What's my
Blount. Blount.
That's how we starting the show?
Okay. I did. I said Sterling Brown. Did I say Sterling Brown?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then you repeated it.
And you sat there and watched me say
waited
Sterling
for
Brown. So that's how we gonna start the show. That's how we gonna start the show, y'all. Sterling Brown here with me. Anyway, no, not to be confused with Sterling Brown of the Milwaukee Bucks. Sterling Blount, all right? Just kept it blunt with me. Sterling Blount in the Argyle sweater. So, all right, let's get to our question of the night before I mess anything else up. Bradley Beal gets this extension for $111 million, okay? And now you say you don't want the extension or you don't want them to really trade him away.
Right.
So, all right, tell us about this.
All right, so we saw an extension with Otto when it was time for him to come up, and he's a Chicago Bull now before that contract ends.
Right, right.
We saw John Wall's extension, and now that's the most poisonous contract in all of sports. He's sitting at home next year making, I think it's $38 million on a torn Achilles.
And 40 next year.
Exactly. So when you have Bill, Wall, and Porter, that was your big three originally. You extended 2 of them, and now they're not even playing. Neither one of them will be in Wizards uniforms next year. So it's a thing of, it's not that I don't trust Bill. Yeah. It's not that I think Bill will get hurt. In fact, I'm at the point where I've handed the keys from Wall to Bill for the organization. Play the contract out. Let's see you play the contract out, and we'll go from there.
You know what? I think when you say you've handed the keys to Bill, I agree. I agree with you. I think that first of all, I love Bradley on and off the court.
Yeah.
Okay. Great interview, always easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, you won't catch Bradley Beal, and this is no shade to John Wall.
Right.
All right? Okay? Get your money. Do your thing. But you won't see Brad coming into camp out of shape.
Right.
Bradley Beal has shown so much improvement.
Yeah.
All right? So, you just heard Scott Brooks say it. He's shown so much improvement. John Wall's jump shot has been the same since 2010.
Yeah.
He has not, and there is no room in the NBA for a point guard that can't shoot.
Exactly.
Right? I've said this so many times. If you are 6'4", okay, and under, you need to have a jump shot.
Exactly.
You need to be Steph or Clay or someone. You need to have that sort of stroke. That's my situation.
I mean, on top of that, if you say you deal Brad, you get and just let's say hypothetically it's for the 4th pick in the draft. Who are you taking with the 4th pick? If you do that, you have to admit you're completely rebuilding. What I need from Ted Leontis is a 5-year plan. We're going into this draft and free agency with no general manager. And I think he's gotten a big excuse or a break from the DC sports fans because he got the cup last year with the Capitals. So everybody's like, we got our championship. 5 years ago, the Wizards were arguably should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I mean, that Paul Pierce I call game shot was only 4 years ago. That's how quick time flies in the NBA.
Did you call bank?
Exactly. So, so for him, I need a 5-year plan if you trade Brad. What's your intentions? What are you trying to do with the organization? Because with the league so wide open, especially next year with Golden State and their injuries, this is the time to make your moves and become a top contender.
This is your chance. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Rob is in Southeast right now. Rob, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? I say no trade.
No trade. You don't want to trade Bradley Beal?
Nah, they can't trade Bradley Beal. He's homegrown. He's one of the best in the league right now as far as pure shooters.
Yeah.
I mean, he's compared to Ray Allen. You know, Ray Allen's going to the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So they got to keep Bradley. I mean, they drafted him. They drafted Otto Porter. They drafted Wall. And you just got to keep, I mean, you got to keep 2 out of the 3. And they did what they had to do. I think they just need to just try to find a power forward. Mm-hmm. You know, I think the center position is going to be pretty good with Thomas Bryant. Mm-hmm. So just try to show up that small forward and power forward position, man. We'll be okay.
So you're okay with the 3 years that the Wizards are reportedly offering?
Yes, I'm definitely okay with that. You know, business decision, you know, you probably want to get them out of there and find, especially with the Pelicans. The Pelicans have so much to offer, man. They got first-round picks here and there, and they got some young talent over there with Ball. But, man, it's hard, man. I mean, he's only 25.
Yeah.
You got to keep him, man. We drafted him. Yeah. Let him stay here at home. He put it all on the line last year, no matter how bad they were. You know, he played every night. You know, he didn't take no nights off, man. And you got to keep a player like that. That's one of a kind.
And Rob, you got a great point, dude. And thanks for calling. Brad never took a night off, man.
Never.
Brad never took a night off, and that's what you have to appreciate. Let's go right back to the phone lines. Kazoo is in Brentwood. Kazoo, you there?
Yeah, this Kazoo, better known as T-Bone.
Oh,
hey, this
man.
What I got to say, man.
T-Bone called under a different alias tonight.
I think it's time to move on. I mean, you know, Bradley Beal, good player and everything, but we keep dumping good money over bad money, and I think we need to scrap the whole team and just build from the.
Okay, so basically you're not really on board with this extension that they're giving to Bradley Beal.
Nah, we need to move on, scrap the team. You know what I'm saying, and just do something new.
All right, so T-Bone, why did you change your name tonight to Kazoo? Oh, he's gone. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, and someone mentioned the Pelicans. Okay, and we know that's probably the big blockbuster trade that everyone's talking about right now. AD to Los Angeles. Okay, and in return is Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. Now, we were talking about this in the sports office. I think the Pelicans got the better end of this deal. I think you said you like it for L.A.
I like L.A.'s side of the deal because they kept Kyle Kuzma.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
For me, Kyle Kuzma was an untouchable in the same sense that Boston made Jason Tatum an untouchable.
Yeah.
Boston, I think, never had a chance to get AD, even if it was for a rental.
Right.
But keeping Kyle Kuzma was that was a big piece for me.
That was it. See, for me, like you said it. It's a rental. We don't know if AD is going to be happy to play with LeBron, and just because you have LeBron on your team doesn't mean you're going to be happy to play with him.
Right.
Okay. That's not always fun. Look at Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You know, look at other players that doesn't mean he's going to like it in Los Angeles. Okay. That's where he was dealt. He's going to Los Angeles, and it was just a great deal. Anyway, let's go back to the phone lines. Paul is in Hyattsville. Paul, what's up, man?
All right. Rob, I agree with you. Rob, I agree with you and Rob. Rob said you got to keep Bill. Bill laid it out on the line every time he step up. I mean, he steps up big time. He never hurt. And it's just like Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott.
Oh, wow.
What quarterback should get the most money? Dak Prescott should get the most money because Carson Wentz, he's fragile. He stays hurt. It's just like with Walls. He stays hurt all the time. So, no, you got to keep Bill. You got to keep Bill and build around. What I wanted to ask y'all, with the Warriors contract coming up, Durant and Klay Thompson gone, should Wizards be looking at either one of them two?
All right, and we're going to try to answer that after the break, Paul. Thank you so much for calling. All right, so we're going to go to break. T-Bone was Kazoo. You Sterling Brown tonight. So everybody changing their name. Coming up, we're going to do a little mock draft as well. See if we agree on these top 10 picks at least. We'll also talk about Sterling's sweater choice tonight on the show, okay? It's a fun show tonight. Call it 703-337-1020. We'll be right back after this.
I think throughout the year, my stock definitely rose. I think a few performances really helped myself, including the championship. I feel like that helped me as well. Kind of nerve-wracking, just don't know where I'm going. Just ready for tomorrow just to see where I'm going to be headed.
All right, so that's former UVA star and national champion DeAndre Hunter. Here are questions of the night. Should the Wizards extend or trade Bradley Beal? And our next question, who would the biggest bust potential be? We'll get to that in a second. In the NBA draft, by the way. But first, let's go real quick to the phone lines. Randy in Temple Hills has a question. Randy, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are you, Randy?
I'm just great. Hey, look, I think the Wizards should have traded Bradley Beal. I think that he done ran a course with them. He's not going to really get any help because the Wizards love to put a Band-Aid on the sore. I think they should just go ahead and start over, get them some good picks like the Pelicans did, more than one, and some first-round draft picks to fill that team and that void of Bill being gone.
Well, appreciate the call, Randy. It's funny because our producer said, look, if you trade Bradley Beal, the Wizards just gonna mess it up anyway because they don't know how to pick. They don't know how to pick. But all right, so Randy, thank you so much for calling. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna get into this sort of mock draft that I came up. These are my 10 picks, and Sterling, you say if you agree with these picks or not. Okay. So I think the top three are pretty much Zion goes to the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have the Grizzlies. We got Ja Morant. Knicks, R.J. Barrett.
Yeah.
So fourth, we got Pelicans. I have Cam Reddish. Are you okay with that? Like you said Reddish can fall either from 4 to 10.
Yeah, I think Reddish falls anywhere between 4 and 10.
Between 4 and 10.
I think it's a matchup thing with teams and personnel. Where does he fit? After the trade that the Pelicans just made, getting Hart and Ingram, I don't think Reddish exactly fits with that scheme. They're looking for a big man, and I like Jared Culver for them out of Texas Tech at 4.
Okay, all right. I'm a Culver fan too. I will say that. Now, at 5th with the Cavs, I have DeAndre Hunter. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think he's one of those who may fit in any scheme.
Yeah,
he's one of those 3-guard or 3 players. He plays great defense.
That's the thing.
He can shoot the 3 ball. He plays in the paint, as you see right now. He can play in just about any type of scheme in the league.
I think if you're 6'7" and you play defense and that's what you pride yourself on, and like you said, if you could hit the 3 ball, that pretty much sets you up for success anywhere you go. All right, so you had Culver, like you said, going 4th, I think, right? I have him going 6th to the Phoenix Suns, and the reason I said that was because a lot of mock drafts had him going lower.
Yeah.
And it was because of this guy, this Darius Garland guy out of Vanderbilt. It's a guy who I hadn't seen, so I can't come on here and be like, oh, okay, yeah, Garland. I'd never seen him. I saw his highlights for the first time today.
Yeah.
Which he has a really nice game, but I know it's sort of like who was the #1 overall out of DeMatha?
Markelle Fultz.
It's sort of like Markelle Fultz was great at Washington. I don't know what he can do because his team wasn't winning.
Exactly.
That's the only thing. So all right. So Suns, I have Jared Culver. Bulls, Kobe White.
See, that's the thing. When we go, I'm going to go back to the Suns because of Kobe White. I got Kobe in a couple of different spots depending on what teams like.
Right.
I think the Suns point blank they needed a point guard. They went from having 3 point guards to no point guards in one off season because of the front office mess that they had. I think they have to take the best point guard available. There you go, either Garland or Kobe White.
Right.
Me personally, and I hate saying this as a Duke fan, if Cam Reddish is not there at 9, I think Kobe White is the pick for the Wizards at 9.
Okay.
If he's still there.
So Kobe White, okay. All right. So then next up we got the Atlanta Hawks. So I guess right here, this is where I could put Garland because I didn't have anybody I just didn't have anybody here, and I don't know what he's really capable of. The thing is, you got Trey in Atlanta right now. So I mean, if he does anything, he could be maybe a nice backup point guard.
I think Cam Reddish would fit perfectly
with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me why.
With the young core that they have right now, to put Cam Reddish in, he'll probably play the 2 or the 3. You got Trey, their big man. I can't think of his name right now. But they played well towards the end of last season. So you see they got the 8 and the 10. Atlanta can really come up in this draft after trading back to get Trae Young last year. A lot of people bashed them for that. And you look at them with 2 top 10 picks this year. After the year Trae Young had, it's starting to look like it's coming together.
All right, we're going to go to break. 703-387-1020. We'll get to the Wizards and the Hawks with that 9th and that 10th pick. We'll be right back with Sterling Blount. Sterling Blount with the Argyle sweater on. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back. So when we left, we were talking about the this mock draft we have going here. Now, you said number 9, that's where we left off, with the Wizards. They have the 9th overall pick. I have Nasir Little, and you had, if Kobe is able to drop down that far, you have the Wizards taking Kobe.
I got Reddish 1. That's my number 1 option now.
Right, if he drops.
I got Kobe White 2.
Okay.
I like Nas Little, again, out of UNC, but, you know, I guess that's over now.
The thing about it was Nasir showed flashes at UNC. He didn't show anything spectacular at all.
That's not his fault. Roy Williams had him coming off the bench as a top recruit. That's Roy Williams' system. You know that when you go to North Carolina, he chose to do it. He'll still be a top 10 pick. That shows how talented he is. Right.
Okay, so there is something there. And then at number 10 with the Atlanta Hawks, I got Jackson Hayes out of Texas. You cool with that?
I like him. I'll tell you who to watch out for sneaking in the top 10. Rui
Hachimura. I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
I think he sneaks into the top 10 somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
He's what is he, about 6'7"?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be able to translate into sort of like a wing type player?
I do, because he's long. His length.
Yeah, okay.
His length will do it for him.
I just don't know what his jump shot is like. All right, so anyway, before we go to the phone lines, I need to address something here. So, if you watch Sterling on the show, you know that he wears a different color sweater vest every single time that he's on the show. So what our team did back there is they didn't really place bets. They just guessed on this sheet of paper what color sweater vest Sterling would wear. All right, so Gerard back there said brown. All right, Winston, who's not here, our producer, he's not here, but he said orange. Okay, I don't need he said orange. Christina, who's not back here but usually works back there, she said blue. All right, Elliot, who's back there, said salmon. You're gonna wear a salmon sweater. Mason chose red. Mr. Reg said lavender, and last but not least, okay? I said it yesterday. All y'all know I said it. I said Argyle, okay? And look what you got on today. You got on an Argyle sweater. That's good. They said I still didn't get your name right. I got the sweater. I got the sweater right, though. I got the sweater right, so it don't matter. Anyway, I got the Argyle. Can you take us through the decision to bring out the Argyle tonight?
All right, so the Argyle was actually a backup tonight. The original plan was green on green.
Okay.
However, in the light, the greens look like they matched, but when you got dressed, they didn't match. So I had a little panic attack. It wasn't working. It was last minute. This is one of my go-tos, so here we are.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got Irvin from Southeast. Irvin, what's up, man? Hey, last time Sterling was Pink Panther, right?
Yeah, this time he's I couldn't think of nothing too much, but it just popped in my head. I just said call him Bruce Wayne tonight. It's like a young Bruce Wayne.
He looked like Bruce Wayne.
Dark Knight's arrived.
Oh man, Irvin. So all right, let's get to the question, Irvin. What do you think? Do you think they should have extended Bradley Beal, or do you think they should have traded him away, or what do you think?
I think Bradley should stay, because right now, the way I look at it, and with John, we don't know what we're going to get the next 2-3 years out of him, and you need somebody to fill them seats in, based on TV, local TV rights, game watching and stuff like that. And he's an all-star right now. So they draft somebody or get some good free agents right now. Because the way I look at it, after Toronto winning, the championship, and Sterling, I know you're a little upset because Milwaukee didn't advance. But I just want to see if this team can advance like Toronto did and try to, push forward the next 3-5 years. At least get to a, Eastern Conference Final and take it beyond. Just shocked a lot of people in the NBA world. That's all.
Yeah, and if Irvin, thank you so much for calling. We always love when you call. And if the Wizards were able to do that, yes, they would shock the world, especially with a guy like Kawhi Leonard in the Eastern Conference. In fact, I do want to get your thoughts on that. You talk about a guy like Kawhi Leonard who everybody, no one thinks he's going to stay in Toronto, but we're going to go to break and get your thoughts on that. All right, call 703-387-1020. We'll see what Sterling thinks about Kawhi Leonard. In the Argyle, which I picked. You see it right here. It says Robert Argyle. Well, you can't see it, but it's written down.
And we didn't communicate about this.
We did not. All right, welcome back. Here with Sterling Blount. And as we were going to break, Kawhi Leonard, is he staying in Toronto?
I think he is. I said all season I thought he would stay.
Yeah.
After the championship, I'm even more sure of it. It comes down to you can share a city with LeBron, or you can have a whole country on your back for 4 to 5 years. It's that simple for me.
I totally agree. I think the success that he had in Toronto, like I said, just because it's LeBron James doesn't mean you're going to like playing with him. And that Kawhi doesn't seem like that type of dude. Anyway, Sterling, always love it when you're on the show, man. Wait, what's my last? That's how y'all feel? That's how y'all feel. We'll see you next time. I'm Robert Brown now. Okay. I see it. I see y'all.